Live, Shonda. I don't know if you want to take him out or keep him.
Okay, I'm gonna take you out, George.
Okay.
Where's Cindy?
It's kind of too late. We went live already.
She reached out to me. She's moving, and so it was like a little bit too much. She said if she can make it, she can make it. But I think even the Wi-Fi was being disconnected because she's literally moving out of that apartment in New York.
And I thought she was already moved to LA. She wasn't already moved out there?
No, she had already moved there, but she still had an apartment going. You know how you have a tenant inside of your
okay.
But she's closing all of that out and moving completely.
Okay.
So
hey y'all, hey Ryan. So we just gonna show arms tonight?
Man, you ain't let me go run change my shirt before we went live, so I say we're just gonna have to ride with this one.
Okay, but we're gonna make it do what it do then. How you doing? How was your day?
Not my decision, just so y'all know. For the record, it was Shonda peer pressure me to go with the tank top with the sleeveless.
No. Shonda or TK?
Both of y'all. The peer pressure was double whammy. It hit me with twice.
Ryan.
You've been around us too long. You're getting our voices mixed up. It was definitely TK.
I can't see who's who. Nah, thank you for asking. Had a good day, great weekend. Back to school next week for me. Classes start today, Monday. Classes start a week from today.
Wow. Okay. So you didn't even get a break, Ryan.
I got a long break, but I was trying to do stuff for me during the break, and it ended up being like work-ish, but it was enjoyable, but it really wasn't not enough time. And I got a break. I want more of a break, and I want to do more, but I gotta get done with y'all tonight, finish up my syllabus, and get ready for convocation speech. And yeah, y'all doing good?
I go back to immigration tomorrow to say a prayer for the girl.
Oh, that's right. Annually, right?
She's still an immigrant, right? I'm gonna tell her.
No, she's trying to get us to be a citizen. We got you.
So tomorrow's my last go round. So when I get off tonight with y'all, I gotta go study and get in there tomorrow and walk out hopefully a U.S. citizen.
Because the last time you went, they hit you with the okie doke last time you took the test, right?
Yeah, I failed horribly.
But it's because you didn't know what they were going to hit you with.
Yeah, I had no idea. But now I'm prepared. I studied all 100 questions, and I can honestly say I may know 95 right, like just right off the bat.
How many you got to get to pass?
You still get 6, but you don't know what 6 they're going to ask you 10. You have to get 6 right out of the 10. You don't know which one they're going to ask you.
They're going to ask you 10 out of the 100, and you have to get 6 out of those 10.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, that's fair enough. Shonda, just because you said that, I'm going to change my motivational moment quote.
Oh, here we go.
No, I have a quote that will back up you passing that test tomorrow. So I'm going to just throw it out there and be spontaneous. I had a quote, but I'll save it just for you. It's going to be a word for you at the end of this show.
Well, how was your day today, TK?
Productive.
What time you do some work, honey? You a slacker.
I know you ain't talking.
I'm on vacation.
Always busy, which is a good thing. I guess I won't complain about being busy, but very productive. How about that?
Where are our viewers tonight? Where y'all at? I know it's Monday, but I know y'all know what time it is. I don't see y'all. Talk to us if you're watching us now. Let us know where you're watching us from.
I made sure I was on public. I made sure I was on public. Did you guys do the same?
I did not.
See, that's why. And I don't know if you noticed that if we're not public, they're not able to comment.
Well, let's go ahead and get this party started.
Hey.
Ooh. You know what? I'm never the one that has the public and private problem. That's usually you.
I don't know why though, because it's like when you create the broadcast, it's public, but the moment that you go live, it kicks it back into to just friends only. I don't know why, but
That's
anyway.
only for you because I've never had that problem. And I just checked and I thought about it. I don't
Yeah.
ever have that issue, you know.
Hi, Ryan. Ryan said hi. Una says she loves everybody's hair tonight. That includes you too, Ryan. I see the
That
slick
was,
back.
you know what I'm saying? I
Ryan,
saw the comment.
Una, I literally just spruced her up, honey. She was kind of tired. She had a long day, so I
Shauna,
just.
you always talking about wigs, but that's a wig. That's your wig. That's your natural hair.
No, this is a wig, baby. Want me to show you?
Damn,
Oh.
you just taking me out, boy. I can't tell the difference.
This is a wig, honey. You put a little concoction in this mist bottle,
Mm.
baby, you good to go. Look like I blowed her from my scalp.
Okay.
Oh Lord. Why are you enticing this, Ryan? Like really, this behavior?
That's what y'all brought me on here for.
So listen, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We have a very interesting night. Cindy is not with us. She may come, she may step in, but everyone who watches this show knows that Miss Cindy is our busybody and she's always out getting her coin. So that's right, Una. Una, I love me a good wig, honey. Yes, ma'am. So we hope she can pop in tonight, but if not, we're still gonna move forward. We have special guests tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and find my stuff so I can post it. Because you know,
Here she go, Ryan. Here she
me
go,
and
Ryan.
Yeah, she covered it. She got your glasses on, so there's no excuses. Ryan say my
I
first
got the
semester at
glass on,
Homestead
but I
Campus.
don't know where I put the. Well, I don't know where I put the picture.
Hey, time out, Ryan. The infamous Ryan.
Oh,
You
there it is.
taking classes at Homestead Campus, bro, and you didn't sign up for my class? Wowzers, bro.
Uh-oh,
Come see
uh-oh.
me. Come see
Oh
me.
wow.
Two
Email me,
Ryans in the
DM me.
same classroom with
Hey,
two
man.
Leos,
I want to know what that's.
two Ryans.
What's that schedule? Let me know when you got that thing, Shonda. I was kind of killing time for you.
I got it. Thank you. I appreciate you. See, that's how
Ryan,
you look out for your girl.
I'm gonna get that schedule a little bit later. Right now, go ahead, Shonda. You want to introduce somebody?
So we're gonna go ahead and meet Mr. George Johnson. He's a special guest tonight. He is an author, entrepreneur, mental health advocate, and his book is called Double Cross: The Conversation with Author George Johnson. Ryan, can we get a round of applause?
Yes, for sure. Let me get that. Let me get right back
Wait,
on my.
let's try this again. Hold on, Mr. Johnson.
Go, George.
Oh, there it is.
Honey, we so professional. Come on, Ryan. What the
No, Ryan, no.
Okay.
George, that's Sean.
Professional applause?
Okay, that's Sean.
Oh, God.
I just want to say we didn't even do the interview yet, but I like this. I like what y'all got going and how y'all do it. I like this.
Aw.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Oh, so far because it gets it's just wild in here. So
It's organized chaos. It's organized chaos,
Exactly.
right?
yeah, I try to organize the
Exactly
chaos
what
for
it
sure.
is.
I
I
like
had a
that.
headphone, so I didn't really sound check the. We might do this again. I got you guys. Go ahead on.
Okay.
We love for them to see George behind the scenes, what it takes just to be human. Like,
Right.
I don't want them coming on here just being these professionals. Now, every now and then, George, they will get Rhonda Burgundy. I do tap into my journalism, and that
Understood.
voice will change.
Yeah,
but
it
I
does.
won't do it tonight.
Got
You
it.
know,
Please
so
don't.
You just did it.
Because Rhonda Burgundy get on my last nerve. I swear she do.
but George, this is the real TK right here.
Gotcha,
So this is
gotcha.
what you get.
So
Gotcha.
George, welcome, man. Welcome.
I appreciate
Thank
y'all
you.
for
I
having me.
met Mr. Johnson. Well, I'm just meeting him now through email. But let me introduce all of us to you. Since the audience knows who we are, but you may not. So I am
Okay.
the Dr. Shonda Roberts. I am a community advocate. I have a nonprofit organization that assists victims and survivors of domestic violence. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am an entrepreneur also. I have my own business. I work from home. And I am also a co-host of Talk Miami. So go ahead, TK, let him know who you are.
Woohoo! Hi there, George. I know we met briefly, but let me tell you a little bit about me. I am the TK Owens. I stole that from Shonda. The TK Owens. Let me see. Wife, mother, entrepreneur, producer, director of Talk Miami podcast, president, CEO of TKO Consulting, and have my own consulting firm. And also #1 bestseller of my book, Plan the life you want
Oh,
on
I forgot I
Amazon.
wrote a book too. I forgot.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us. And with that, I'll pass it down to the man in the black shirt.
Let me go find my book, honey. She ain't saying nothing. My book is.
Let me find my book. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not coming in too hot. My volume is all right there. Again, welcome, George. I'm Ryan David, psychology professor and leadership, personal leadership, holistic lifestyle coach. So welcome.
Got you. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. Ryan also said, TK, you're a dancer. So yes, I am also too a dancer and choreographer, Ryan.
Wait,
all right. Go ahead on, be claiming those titles. We're gonna get you to do a little two-step for us out here.
Don't let me find her video, baby. She can step. So I also co-wrote a book called Love After Abuse. This is the story of 9 survivors of domestic violence who was talking about their story after leaving the abusive relationship.
So stay right there, Shonda. Shonda, keep it up. Keep your book up, Shonda.
Wait,
right?
Let me take off this blur because it's not showing good.
That's okay. You keep your book up. I'm gonna keep my book up because then George is an author. So Ryan, we want to put it on you that you're next. From my mouth to God's ears, I want you to write that book, Ryan.
I got the bullets for the intro right here somewhere with the manuscript.
Okay, we got you.
Right here somewhere, man.
So when you're ready, you're gonna share it with our Talk Miami family. And George, we can't wait to hear about your book. So
dope.
Welcome.
Okay, so let's move on because I'll be off topic all the time. Okay, listen, we're gonna get right into it. I am so interested in hearing your story. I'm gonna go ahead and let you tell us what we need to know.
Well, I mean, I guess for starters, I think putting in context of where I'm from, kind of just understanding my upbringing is important. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. A lot of people don't know about that place, but it's your typical inner city, and everything that come with the inner city. That's what I grew up in. I'm from the north side of Richmond, Virginia, to be exact. And to be honest, I was an athlete growing up. Basketball was my life. I'm the baby boy of 5, and just living in a life where basketball is keeping me out of just the street and everything that comes with the streets day in and day out. Basketball was able to just put me in travel on the weekends through AAU. And one of my oldest brothers was basically a superstar. He was 10 years older than me, and so I lived in this house where I wanted to be him. I wanted to grow up. I wanted to be him. That's who I looked up to. We lived in my mom, my dad I still had a relationship with my father, but he didn't live in the house with us. So, but basketball was that was my life. That's what we was bred to do, and that's what we had done my whole life. Fast forward, basketball was able to take me away to school, and it was the avenue that basically pulled me out of Richmond, Virginia, and I left my peers behind. And all of the turmoil that just come with the streets and the crab in the barrel saying. And basically I went and was able to get a degree in in business. And my major is in business. My minor is in accounting. And so I was able to get that. I had a horrific incident happen, and I can go in detail as we get going, where I was in a situation in a robbery, and I ended up tearing my thumb, which prohibited me to go take my contract to go play professionally across seas. So I ended up entering straight into the workforce for my oldest brother that was that superstar of me growing up. He was in the human service field. He had a mental health company. And so I kind of just started off there, just punching holes, just happy to, have a job. And it felt great that my brother had somewhere for me to transition from playing ball and going to school and the going across sea situation, but straight to the workforce. And instantly moving in with my brother, fast forward, I'm not a kid anymore. Growing up, he's 10 years apart. We're 10 years apart. So I'm 7, he's 17. In that early age, you don't know the character or the personality really of a person. You just think that they're the coolest person. You don't really care. But now me entering, and now we moving in back together we were staying in DC at this point. I'm a man, he's a man. And basically our relationship just started to go downhill. I had ended up, making a promise to myself that I was going to learn that mental health company from A to Z. And basically that's what I did. So it took me a year. I was able to save up a lot of money to find me a consultant to start my own mental health company. And that's what I did. And in the midst of that, me and my brother relationship just kind of crashed and burned to the point where it was like a fist fight. And we had never spoke again. I was able to transition to Houston, Texas, expand my mental health company here. and I'm booming. I was making $75,000 a month. I had basically retired me and our mutual mother. I was giving her $8,000 a month, and so life was good. One day I got a call from a mutual friend of me and my brother, and was like, "Yo, like the feds are like up here in DC, and they like doing all this stuff." At that point, I was like, "Oh, good luck. I don't know what the hell y'all got going on, but I'm good." And basically, that was the beginning of a 4-year journey where my brother had got into some Medicaid fraudulent billing, and he put me in it. He put my name in it, and my story kind of entailed a long array of stuff where, my brother had admitted to my mother that he was going to do the best for him. My mother developed cancer in the midst of this just due to the stress, and it basically, this whole thing just tore my family apart. The irony of the story is that I actually beat the federal government the first go around of what my initial brother had lied about. And basically the federal government actually came back again 6 months later after me defeating the feds, which people don't really do that. They actually came back around and have found a way to use my oldest brother to become an informant. He was my tax preparer, and they basically leveraged themselves to him. And basically, he lied and said that I did something incorrect on my tax returns. And he came to court and got on the stand. And that was at the end of a 4-year journey, spending $500,000 fighting this journey. And, that's how I got to this part. And so,
hence the title of the book, Double Cross. There you go.
Right. And so that's how we got the double cross. The book is loosely off of the biblical story of Cain and Abel,
Yeah.
but basically two of my oldest brothers. And it really, the root of it was just jealousy and just, a selfish act. And it basically tore my family apart. The irony of the whole component is that, I entered and now I'm in the mental health space. Like at this point, when I'm dealing with this, I now currently have 4 mental health companies. So the mental toll and the mental education of the whole component. And that's crazy because Ryan, you say you work in psychology. So I was like, man, that's the space that you're in. I hire people with human service degrees and those type of things. So my clinical staff and everything, I'm very fond of that space. But my story kind of tells my mental toll that I went through. I became depressed, and I was just dealing with anxiety and just the trust issues that now I suffer with. And basically, I wanted to wrap up and tell my story because I felt like, there's a lot of people that look like me, talk like me, got tattoos like me, but this topic, about the mental toll of things, we don't really talk about that, especially, me and my friends are real connected with all my younger guys and nephews is back home in the streets. And it's like they dealing with so much. All of them been shot people, dealt with so much just turmoil and just inner city, just bad stuff, that the mental stuff, they don't know how to deal with it. And so that's how we got here with Double Cross.
Not even allowed to deal with it. Like the bro code is, you can't even talk about your feelings. You can't even speak on these things. So yeah, man. Wow.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack. Woo.
And that's a summary. And in my book, I go into a lot of details. I spoke about how I had lost it mentally. I flew to DC from Houston. Had slept outside my brother's house. I had 2 guns on me. He never came home. Wow. I was like down and out. Like I thought I had to take it, into my own hands. I go into great detail where, I was just getting drunk every day. That's how I was coping with, just the stress. I ended up having 2 children, a month apart, 3 weeks apart. And it was just me. I was just falling and falling. I really spiraling out of control. And so, I thought it was just a dope idea. My book, I didn't set out to write a book. My friends today still laugh like, yo, you got a book, bro? Shut up. Like, get out of here. But, I started going to therapy, and journaling became one of the things that me and my therapist started doing. And I looked up and had 2 notebooks of just stuff. And so that's how I compiled all this information that ended up turning into Double Cross.
What was the breaking point for you to make you say, okay, I need to go to therapy? What happened that, because a lot of people dealing with mental issues don't feel they have mental issues, and they don't feel that they need to go to therapy. They feel like nothing's wrong with them. Like, you're crazy, not me. I'm not going. So what happened? At what moment did you think, you know what, enough is enough? I'm gonna end up dying or hurting somebody.
That's a great question, and I got a whole chapter where it was a pivotal moment where it was humbling. I was upset. I'm an athlete. I still work out every day for the most part. And this day, and this is in the midst of that 4-year battle that I spoke about, I went to the gym, and Ryan, I'm pretty sure you can contest. I warm up on the bench every day, so I go get on the bench, no weight on
No,
it, just the
Ryan don't
bar.
work out. He don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool.
It's about the mental preparation side of it, getting ready, getting prepared, getting warmed up.
Right.
I
So
don't know.
I'm on the bench press, and it's something that I've been doing since I started lifting in high school. Get the bar, no weight on it. It's a 45 bar that's on the bench press. And I went to lift it up to warm up, and I couldn't lift the bar.
Mm.
And I was like, man, maybe I didn't take a nap today, or I didn't eat a snack. So I went back to the front of the gym, got a Gatorade, and ate like a Snickers. I was like, maybe my playlist ain't rocking like it's normally rocking. So I sat there for a couple of minutes, went back to the bar, and I literally couldn't lift the bar. And I remember walking out of the gym and sitting in my car for hours, and like it was like an emotional space, and I just like something wrong with me. And that's what led me going to the doctor. I thought something physically was wrong with me, and she was like, "Yo, you like probably one of my most healthiest, patients." And then she basically was like, scratch this. Like, what you been going through? And I started telling her, and she was like,
You need to talk to somebody.
yeah, that's not regular. And so, she didn't understand how could I be an owner of a mental health company, and we work with all these clients. And I was like, I deem me as like the owner. I got it going on. I make all this money. Like, I'm not like the patients that we provide services to. And what the humbling part is that like, nah, I needed probably help just as much or even more than these people we've been providing services to. And so that was the big this road I started going down of just trying to seek for this help, this mental help.
So you got to a breaking point. Your body got to a breaking point to the point where you went to a physician, and the physician said, "Listen, you need to talk to somebody about what's going on with you psychologically."
Exactly.
Is that really where the transition was? The doctor told you talk to a psychologist or a counselor.
Yep, exactly. And of course,
what did they say? It was stress related, basically. Your body, your nervous system was just. What about the not being able to lift the bar? In your own words, I don't want to guess what it was, but
So the mental stress that I was under, and not dealing with that stress in a healthy way, it basically burnt my body out. And so I couldn't even tell my body, hey, lift this right now, because of just the mental toll that I was in. Like, I had just burnt my body out mentally.
Yep.
And that's a component where people don't think about, like, no, I'm strong, I'm in shape, I eat good. But if your brain can't tell your body to make those strong muscles work out, they won't work. And that's what literally happened.
And if your fight or flight is on fleek for 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years, and you don't realize it's burning you out, you're running your body down because of all of that mental stress and anxiety, even though you're going through the motions. And then you're in the gym working a body that's already being run down.
Exactly.
And you're like, you just hit that breaking point, like you said. Wow.
Right. Exactly.
I don't think people realize how much of a physical toll going through a mental stress causes you. And maybe it was a good thing you didn't lift that bar, because maybe you would have lifted up and dropped it on you just by being so mentally drained, mentally tired. Mr. Damon Thomas is acknowledging and realizing when an individual has reached their breaking point and wanting to seek help is very imperative. And I think that is so true. He said that earlier, because I know a few people in that position now, and they don't think that something is wrong. They don't feel that something is wrong. I need a therapist.
Damon sorry, Shonda, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I would love a therapist, just because sometimes you need someone to help you get those thoughts together and figure out why you're overwhelmed, or why you're ticked off by this one thing, or why this thing doesn't bother you. You know what I mean? Before you know it, you're at your breaking point, and you're having a mental breakdown because you don't know why at the drop of a dime I'm going off on somebody, or why at the drop of a dime I'm crying for nothing. You know what I mean? So a lot of times people don't acknowledge that there's something wrong. That's the main thing of getting help, just acknowledging there's something not right with me. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was gonna say real quick, Damon is somebody that George should absolutely connect with. Like, it's 100%.
Yes,
I will.
Damon is the CEO and founder of Men of Courage, and he talks to, I won't say it wrong. Damon, type it in there so I don't say it wrong.
Basically, try to help provide services for men, psychological services, mental health services. So
for men, specifically men. So that's someone you should definitely connect with.
And the piece I want to add, where I feel like this is unique in these kind of conversations is dope. And like, I like you guys' podcasts because y'all can just keep it 100 and just talk the truth. Is that in other communities, not the inner city Black community, this isn't, my mom didn't raise up. My mom was like, boy, ain't nothing wrong with you, boy. You acting crazy. Like, like, stop, you good. Like, keep pushing. That was that. And that's just the, in the settings that that we're not talking about these. Like, it's other communities that families and kids get a therapist early on, and it's just part of just their normal lifestyle. And so, it was put on me. I feel like my journey was put on me. Like, yo, like, you could speak, part of our community. And when I reference like the inner city black, it's a monkey see, monkey do. Like, oh, he's cool, he's doing it, so I could do it. And so I just try to make sure I become some kind of resource like that, and it's working. I redirect a lot of people every day from my page to therapists all the time.
Break the stigma. Yeah, it's funny. Real quick, I work in Homestead. Obviously, I'm white guy from, white background, but I'm in Homestead, and I'm probably the minority now in Homestead, and a lot of my students that I teach at Homestead campus are minorities. They're not white, and I deal with that constantly when talking about having them think about talking to somebody and getting help in a way that might benefit them. And they'll point out, well, abuela and grandpa and mom and dad, they don't know, man. They have this stigma, and it's constantly overwhelming people, especially younger people, that their culture is pushing back on this as a weakness to go seek health. And so I know exactly what you're talking about. And we need more people like you from all corners and all communities to make sure that people who look like them and come from where they come from have the same services that the other people that have been absolutely doing a great thing, man.
Definitely appreciate it. Definitely.
And George, Shonda, I want to first thank you. I literally met Damon through you. I met Ryan through you, and now I'm meeting George through you. And thank you for thank you for breaking the stigma. I mean, Ryan, you said it. Exactly. You guys are changing. It's almost like a movement. You're even changing the stereotype of men not having issues, or I wouldn't even say issue. It's so, to me, heroic for you to come forth to say that something was wrong and to share your story with hopes of helping others. I would love, my question for you is, from an author to another author, at what point did you decide that you wanted to write this book, and what was your reasoning behind that?
That's a great segue. And it kind of go back to what Ryan was speaking about, just being a man. Before, I don't care who you are, white, black, purple, whatever the case may be, it's a sense of just ego and pride of just being vulnerable that you just like, I don't want to seem weak like that. And then to add to that, being in the inner city and what comes with that, being vulnerable and sharing what hurts you, that's a weapon. People use that against you. So everybody know, like, yo, I can't say I'm hurt right now. I can't show like what upsets me, because they can use that against me, and people will. So fast forward, I had got to the end of my book. I had actually wrote the book, and I really was at a standstill for like 2 months for twofold. I was on the back end. I had been started recovering, people around me, my mom and people that had went through that journey with me. And we kind of had a Band-Aid on what had transpired over 4 years. So we was healing. And I knew that the book was going to just take the Band-Aid back off and let's bring this. And now we're going to reach the masses. And so I kind of was like, man, do I kind of want to relive it again?
Yeah.
And so I kind of was stuck. And I'm going to keep it all the way transparent with you guys. All of my peers that I grew up with, street guys. And I mean, when I street guys, hands in everything from murders, drugs, all that type of stuff. And so one of my guys, he's dead now. He actually died. He got killed 2 weeks after my first book event. And he was actually in Houston with me. I was actually on federal house arrest, and I was doing my first interview like this. And so street guy did 11 years in prison. He basically missed all our teen years. And I was doing this interview, and I was like new, and I was kind of nervous, and I was talking about this type of stuff. And he was sitting on the other side, or like trying to be quiet, because he was like, yo, my man's doing some kind of interview thing, like whatever, he lit. And so I had this interview, and I was talking about all this vulnerable stuff and this mental health stuff, and we got off, and he had like a tear in his eye. And I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you?
You should tell people about that.
Yeah. And so he was like, bro, I don't even know about all that stuff you talking about. But like, bro, he just started talking about stuff. He was like, man, I never can go to sleep until the sun coming up, just because like I was in jail one time. Somebody tried to stab me in my neck, like stuff, just deep stuff. And just stuff that he was living with, how he felt bad about stuff that he did, but he got to carry stuff. And it just got real deep. And he was like, bro, you got to do the book, bro. Like you making me talk about stuff that I never would talk about nobody. And so that was kind of like pushing me over the top and was like, yo, I got to do it and I got to take it on.
And you had family support and friend support, or did you just say, I'm going for it?
It's crazy. It's touchy. My mom, man, I had to block my mom from my social media. My mom was struggling because, I had to find it in myself to remove myself from just me and how I felt about my brothers and everybody, how they handled me, and be like, damn, that's still a mom watching her other son do this. And so I gotta feel crazy because I'm a parent. Like I couldn't imagine if this kid did this to my other kid. Like, what do I do? How do you support this one? And so it was tough for my mom for the first, because now her friends, I started running ads and this started blowing up and this became a thing where I'm from. And now nationwide as well. But my mom, her friends started calling my mom like, oh my God, like I didn't know that how that went and everything. So my mom dealt with it for a while, but it took about 6 months and we had like a conversation and we kind of got through it. And she knows it's something I'm due, but she kind of stayed away from it.
So she was blocked so that you did that almost a favor so she wouldn't have to deal with the emotional pain of seeing it and stuff like that, or because
my content on my page, some people, it's so real, people think it's fake. In the midst of this journey, this battle, we were preparing it. I thought we was gonna have to go to court. Where the first going to go to court, like, so we actually got recordings of my brother on the phone with my mom saying like, I know I lied, but I had to do the best for me. He'll be okay. And so I actually took that audio and it's actually living on my page, and I got my therapy sessions on my page, and I got reenactments of like stuff in my book. And so
for her to relive that, for her to experience that.
Exactly. Right.
I can definitely. TK, we just talked about this.
Shonda, I was thinking about you the whole time. And then you're probably thinking about me the other way if you haven't about something that I haven't shared in my second book. But
now y'all got to share what y'all was thinking about and talking about. Come on now.
We here now.
No, I can't. Yeah, okay. Well, we've talked about it.
Tell you guys after the show.
We talked about a little bit on the show, but I can understand that as a parent and as a child, of course, because I have a sibling that I'm not seeing eye to eye with, and I have chosen to just pretend he doesn't exist, for lack of a
distance yourself, separate yourself, remove yourself. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because I just feel that at a point in your life, you have to decide to protect your peace. And you have to decide this, no matter who, what thing, what person is, if you're to the point where I can't even be comfortable around you, or if I don't trust you, or if you've done things that hurt me, you can't apologize. I just don't need your apology anymore. I'm just not going to be in your life anymore. And I'm okay with that. But my mom is like, well, you can't be like that. Yeah. No one could tell you how to handle your experience with someone else.
Yeah.
And I have learned that. And since learning that, I sit on it, I own it, because I don't care how they treated you. How they treated me was different. And that's what I'm going off of. This is why I'm choosing not to be in this person's life. And I asked my mom to just respect it. Like, let's not even talk about them.
Parents of all
get pissed off. So instead of disrespecting my mama,
right?
I'll talk about it.
Right, Sean, I was saying, of all people, your parents are probably the last ones to actually understand that, because it's in their DNA to not understand infighting between. They want everybody to get along, and they won't understand it because that's not
right.
They don't need you to. You don't need them to understand it for you to do what you got to do. It's really like one of the hard decisions, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's like a catch-22. I'm a parent, and I don't want my kids to be that way.
Right. Y'all gonna hold hands until y'all make up. That's
when my kids were small and y'all put them in the same t-shirt.
Yeah,
one t-shirt on both their bodies. Y'all gonna see her hug until y'all figure it out. Ain't nobody fighting nobody in this house. Well, of course, now they're all adults. They're 24.
When you're grown and you're an adult,
right,
for a different situation, right?
And like
so
me being
make their own decisions, and they decide who they, what they want. They're all still cool and close, thank God. But if it comes to a point they have to make the decision, they gotta make the decision. And as a parent, you just don't want that, because we're not gonna be here forever. We want our kids to have each other, if nothing else, But I wanted to ask you, Mr. George. I'm gonna call you George. I don't think Mr. Johnson. I'm gonna call you George.
That's cool.
You hear that, right, Ryan? George. She like that name.
She love that name.
That's the husband name.
So I'm
What
gonna
were
ask
you?
you,
What were
George,
you gonna? He was gonna say something, Shonda, just now. You were gonna
Yeah,
say
he was
something,
gonna say
Shonda?
something, Shonda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just I would piggyback on what you're saying. Me being a father of three, I was big enough to remove myself and look at it from my mom's point of view. Doesn't mean, respect it to a certain extent. Like I get your position, but like me as a man, and like you say, this went far, man. I mean, imagine sitting, you guys, if a mother or a parent sitting in federal court. I'm talking about federal court, and one of your children is over here with the prosecutor lying. He already told you on the phone, like, yeah, I lied to better myself in front of your baby. I'm the baby. That is, it's levels to, oh, you stole my PlayStation, to like, that's a
Yeah.
whole nother level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shonda, I know you had something for him, but I was gonna say real quick, do you know if your mom ever got a chance to talk to someone or work through that? Because the turmoil she's going through or went through, did she ever get a chance to work through that?
I did connect her with the therapist, and
Not up
so
to her whether she utilizes
correct.
it, but yeah, just
Yeah,
because that's something. Imagine, like you said, what she's went through for that.
yeah, for sure.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, where are your brothers now, and do you um, talk to them at all?
So, the initial run in and battle with the federal, that brother, which is second to oldest, I haven't seen him. I got to be 6 years. I never, which the case that I ended up basically defeating the federal government. I haven't seen him in 6 years. The irony that the question you just asked me, my oldest brother, my closest sibling was my nephew. And I say was, he got murdered last month.
Oh
And
wow.
Oh,
uh,
sorry.
I
Sorry
spoke to
about
him on the phone right before, and I actually had brought him an apartment here. He was leaving Richmond to get out of just everything that come with Richmond the following week, and he got murdered. And so, um, that was like my son basically. His time in jail, I made sure I took care of him and all that type of stuff. His relationship with his father, which is who did what to me, and I saw him for the first time at the funeral, and so it was just
You saw your oldest brother at your nephew's funeral
which is
for the
his
first
son,
time. For the first
yeah,
time.
and it was just like
Wow.
a emotional thing. Think about time that went on. Now I'm like this big author. The story of what really happened is out, so it's a packed. Where we from? My nephew was very popular, so everybody is there, and so it was a crazy, just bad, just environment because
Awkward moment.
yeah, awkward moment because my nephew looked at me like his father, but that's really his father, so he's playing that position, but all the other people know that what I am, and so we didn't speak. He stayed away. He knew he didn't come around me, and so it was just bad. So it was like twofold: the interaction with me, or lack interaction, and while we here, the reason that why we
that.
was gathered. So it was a bad situation.
Well, Mr. George Johnson, let's go ahead and talk about your book tour. I know you have a book tour in Miami
Yep,
this week,
yep.
Thursday, 8/18, 2022, 7 p.m. at Soleil Garden at 2200 Northwest 2nd Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33127. Give us some information about what people should expect. And also at the top, you can RSVP at doublecrossmiaeventbrite.com. Let us know what they can expect at your book tour or at this event.
So me and Imani, who helps me, she's my PR. She helped
She's
put.
awesome. She's so patient.
Yeah, no, that's my girl. She getting it done. I had an idea. I was like, hey, let's take this on the road. Me, the social media is cool and all that type of stuff, but like I think sitting down and being in front of me in real life, could do something different, and how these conversations, and so we started in Atlanta. We went to back home where I was from. We brought it to Houston, and I just love Miami. Scratch this book. I just like being in Miami and drinking mojitos. So I was like, oh, we gotta go to Miami. And then she was like, well, let's do it in Wynwood. I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Okay, we should go. Y'all want to go?
Y'all should pull up if y'all can.
As soon as I saw
Oh,
the
you
date,
leaving?
yeah, as soon as I saw the
Oh,
date, I'm a big, huge supporter, but I leave to go to Disney World on
got you.
Thursday.
Okay, cool.
But
I also may go. Me and my husband may go.
we're here supporting you. We
Nah,
want to make
love,
sure we get that word out. Yeah.
love,
Yeah.
appreciate it. But
I'm gonna look at
we
I'm gonna
kick
look
it.
at the dates and the time again to see if I can make it that night. I got some things
Okay.
back to school stuff coming up, but I'm gonna look at it.
Cool, yeah. So we kick it. I got a lot of my friends back home flying out. We got a lot of people that's already, reserved a chair. We kick it. We had this conversation in person. we get people in real time to ask me questions. I got some merch that we did. We got a bar, and I get interviewed. And what's going to be special this go round is that I let Imani call my mom, call my oldest daughter, she's 13, call a lot of friends from back home, and she got a lot of questions from them. And so she's gonna like rapid fire ask me questions. And my mom never spoke about this to anybody ever before.
Wow.
And so,
oh wow, that's awesome.
yeah,
That's
this is gonna
awesome.
be a
I'm gonna have to
special
check
moment.
that out. Let me see if I can take Mr. Roberts on a date.
Yeah,
And see,
yeah.
if he'll ride with me since my partner leaving me.
That'll be dope.
But I'm gonna have to check that out because I'm actually struggling. Mr. Damon Thomas is helping me, but I'm struggling to finish my book. I'm writing my book now about my story before the abuse. The other book was after the abuse.
Okay.
I've been married now 20 years. So that's what that story talks about. Meeting someone who had to put up with someone who just survived domestic violence. So now I'm talking about in this book what happened before. So
Gotcha.
maybe that'll give me some inspiration to get my stuff together.
Okay.
So
I'd love to be there.
And George, how can we? I'm a huge supporter. How can we purchase the book?
Yes.
Where's your book sold?
So my book lives on Amazon. You know, I drive all my traffic. I'm most heavily on Instagram. My Instagram is 2x crossed, hence the title of the book. But you know, I got a webpage, so you click the link in my bio, it can take you straight to my Amazon, or if you could just look it up on Amazon, you know, George Johnson Double Cross.
Absolutely. We'll make sure we add that. All the listeners will add that in our comments.
Dope.
Let's go ahead and support Mr. Johnson. We got you.
Also, well, you know, we could keep talking forever.
Yeah.
Our next topic, ironically, is about another athlete, a basketball player. So, like I said, you're welcome to stay. I would love to hear your input.
I love to kick it. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, and Ryan, I'm gonna get y'all at the end. I'm gonna just jump right on into this next one. You know, I take my time making my promos with the help of our producer, and I didn't even post my little promo on here, honey.
You did. It's there. It's there.
Tiki, I don't see it. I got my eyes on.
You want me to bring in Brittney, right?
Yes, I see it.
It's there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So if you all don't know, Brittney Griner was detained by Russian customs after cartridges containing less than a gram of hashish oil were found.
Hashish.
I have tried all day. I cannot say that word. Were found in her luggage. She was later arrested on drug charges and subsequently sentenced to 9 years. Was her sentence too harsh, or did she get what she deserved? Before you answer, I'm going to play the video because I don't know if everyone doesn't know her story. So I want to make sure. I'm going to play 2 videos. One is just a quick video of her coming through the airport, and the next one talks about what happened. So give me 1 second.
Let's do it.
This just shows her going through. So this doesn't have any sound.
Why don't you narrate for us, Shonda? Thank you.
I was about to. Like this, they have what they call whoever's checking her bag. They put her bag through, and they're going through her stuff because they noticed that, through the thing that you put your luggage through, it shows what's in your luggage. Someone said that they feel that they were tipped off, or whatever. I don't know. I
got a dog. It was a dog right there. The dog probably smelled it, pulled the bag off like they do.
Sure, right? Because from what I understand,
were you trying to say you think somebody set her up?
Right. I don't know. You know, there's so many conspiracy theories about what happened. But people are saying that maybe she was set up. I clearly see the dog as well, and I don't know if this is her first time going through to Russia. I'm sure it's not. I think she plays over there often. I just don't know why this time she was caught, or was this her first time bringing that stuff over. Here's the second video.
I love my family.
Но я честно надеюсь, что это понятие будет.
I understand everything that's being said against me, the charges that are against me, and that is why I pled guilty. But I had no intent to break any Russian laws. I made an honest mistake, and I hope that in your ruling that it doesn't end my life here. I want to apologize to my teammates, my club, Gemka, the fans, and the city of DCAT for my mistake that I made and the embarrassment that I brought onto them.
Wow.
Mistake
So,
or bad decision?
I guess everyone pretty much got an idea of what happened. Well, I don't understand. I ain't never been to Russia, never plan on going. However, if I'm going to any country, state, city, municipality, whatever you call it, I'm not taking anything illegal.
Well, I'm looking at their laws.
And even though I don't know if she said they said she had a doctor's note later on for medical reasons. Even so, why do you play with your life going over to Russia? I don't understand. I don't understand. Do y'all know anything else about this story? Or do y'all know what I know? Because I don't understand why that was even a choice.
So I got a little bit of insight.
Okay.
My best friend, y'all could look at Tyrese Rice. He's probably gonna go down as one of the most decorated guys that play cross seas of the past 10 years. So I spent a lot of time going over there watching him play. And I'm in the world of basketball, so going to play in different countries, I got a lot of friends, and I was in that arena. Everybody know when you going across seas and you playing in Russia, them people is not playing.
Not playing.
Like everybody know that. It's some countries like, oh, it's cool, this, that, and the third. But Russia, and people don't know how the WNBA work. Most of those women make most of their money cross seas, not here in America, because they don't get paid nothing. So it's just a spoof of they playing in America for a couple months, and but where they really make their financial money from is cross seas. And Russia is a big place that pay women high. But she know, because she's a vet, she's been around for a while now. You can't play with Russia. And so it's some sense of accountability she got to take on that, because I don't care if, ands, or buts. In Russia, them people is not playing. And she know that she's a 6'8" woman. So she stands out. Everybody knows she's coming through. She's a superstar. So, that's my take on it. And that political piece, that's kind of over my head. I don't really know. I know they kind of leveraging her for the other guy. But in regards to just the accountability that she could take, everybody in the basketball world do not play with Russia.
Right.
I'm so glad you said that, bro. I'm so glad you said that it is a known thing, because that would be the debate. Did she know? Did people around her know? Did somebody not tell her? Was she, one, she's a vet, like you said, and then two, now you put it out there, it's a known thing.
Yeah, it's just everybody know that.
Go ahead, take care. I'm sorry.
And not only that, I mean, let's think about where we are as a country right now. Why would you even think for any reason what's going on with Putin and what, in the country? We're at odds with Russia. So you should already know. You're a
star. You're an ace in the hole. Like, you're good. You could be leveraged. You can't afford to mess up. Is that where you're going, TK? I agree. Yeah.
No, totally. But I can't say, do I think your question too, Shonda, was,
I was going to speak
do
to
you
that.
think it was harsh, like her sentence? I do. Yes. I will say that part. Yes. However, my husband and I were having this conversation just over the weekend on our way back and forth to our son's football game. Is that, and I'm going to throw this at you guys. Do you think sometimes that these celebrities just think that they can get away with things because of who they are? Like, she probably didn't think for 1,000 years. I heard she even laughed when she first got arrested, and probably didn't think that they was going to give her 9 years.
That's what I
like. At the end of the day, celebrities, you still have to abide by the same laws as anyone else.
Well, I was going to go to the question, but I was the first wanted to go back on the political pawn piece that I was going to ask y'all about to answer the question. So, because I had something that I was reading about it, trying to find out about this political pawn, because first they were talking about Ukraine and Russia, and now they're talking about Victor Bout, who was the one that is here, well, United States rather, and he's
the bomb maker,
charged and sentenced to 25 years in prison. And so now, as of today, I believe, or yesterday, they are talking about doing the swap. So I feel, I mean, even from the beginning, that she was used as a political pawn. Maybe she did take this before and never got stopped. Maybe that's why she laughed. Maybe she got away with it before. You know what I mean? And so she felt comfortable enough to keep doing that. But, you know, as everything happens, there's an end to everything. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but maybe this was the time they say, you know what? She comes through all the, I'm just, this is me in my mind, but she comes through all the time. We know we have someone that we could pawn with. We want him to come back. This is going on. Let's go ahead and take her now. Because how many other people did they stop that day? How many basketball players came through that day? Did they check? You know what I mean? Besides the dog being there, someone had to know. Maybe they did know what she does. It was just an opportunity for them to use her as a political pawn. That's just my idea.
I think
But
it's twofold.
yeah,
I
but
think
that's
it's
what's wrong.
twofold.
Regardless of what
She,
she wants.
she knew, like you say, given everything you just said, you got to know your stardom. You have to know your value from a global standpoint. And if you don't, then you're probably smoking too much of what you got that little cartridge. Because I mean, that doesn't take you. You know your value. You also know what George put out there that was known. And then the second part of that is TK. Well, let me just want to go back the sentence, the punishment. So where we sit, the answer to that is according to compared to or of course the punishment is way too harsh in terms of US law, and that's what we're all going to base our decision based on. So I guess the twofold is it too harsh? Absolutely, in terms of US law. But was she responsible for it? That's why when you first showed the video, Shonda, I said bad decision or bad choice. I mean, mistake or bad choice. We talked about on the show in the previous. Which one was that one?
We talked about that, right?
Yes. So like I talk about this topic. I've talked about it. The most I know about it was a quick search after a couple conversations in my group chat with 3 of my best friends, and they're all talking about it. And I get a little bit of what they share and they post and whatnot. And I found out after the show last week, my dog G Hess tuned in from Atlanta. He was watching. So shout out to Hester if you're listening, Gary. He's one of them in the chat, and we talk about it. And I got a few of them in there. We have different perspectives, and one of my boys in the chat is like, that's on her. She's got to know what time it is. She's got to pay for the mistakes. And you talk about the political pawn. I know I'm rambling a little bit here. I'm trying to bring like 7 thoughts in together. The political pawn, you have to know your worth and your value, because if you know you're going to a country that we are at odds with and you are a high value, you can't afford to slip. I'm sorry, this is where we live in. Going back to what you said, TK, is there some privilege there that she was kind of blinded by? If so, you really slipped up, because you can't afford to do that. And I think privilege sometimes get the best of people. They think they should have opportunities that they really, at the end of the day, your blood is red like ours, bro. You got to abide by the same rules. So there's so much going on. I just want to be clear. Was it harsh? I mean, nobody in America looking at American laws is going to say that fits the bill. Like, yeah, that's right. No, but if you understand how Russia works and you understand how other countries work, you have to look at it from their perspective. And then you also look at, we are looking for somebody to have as leverage to get our bomb maker back from the US. Oh, we have a 6'8" superstar coming in. Let's make sure we double check her bag. Oh, we have something that actually is against the law. Let's hold on to that one. Like, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's just how the game works. I think.
Right. TK, you want to say something?
No, I totally agree with you, Ryan. I wanted to share with you, Shonda. I actually took a poll out on Instagram, and I said, was her sentence too harsh? So 75% said yes, and 25% said no. So I do agree with you, Ryan. For United States, we all know, yes, it was a prescribed medication. You actually can have a license to take, medicated marijuana. And I believe it was like the CBD oil. It's not like it was the actual street marijuana. She actually had the oil. So in her mind, I do believe her intent was just a slip up, but you just got to be more careful when you know you're going into another country like that. Come on now.
So I have a question when it comes to the too harsh. Now, I mean,
What'd you say, Shonda, when it comes to 2 bars? Sorry, what'd you say? I cut you off.
I have a question when we're talking about too harsh. So I'm gonna ask either one of y'all. You have your own place. I don't know if you're a parent also, George. Ryan, you ain't had no kids yet. We're gonna work. I think you're working on that. Hopefully. So we're
Practicing for a long time.
so we're parents. We have a rule. My rule is you don't do this in my house. You don't do this in my house. You come in my house certain time. You're gonna be first time. Maybe you're on punishment. Second time you're gonna get put out. Those are my rules. If you come in my house past my curfew for my oldest, he's 24. It's 3 a.m. Come in my house 3:01. We got a problem. He can't say, "Mommy, that's too harsh." That's my rule. You don't tell me to do in my house. It's my house. So that's Russia's house.
Yeah.
If they gave her 29 years, 109 years, that's their rule. She should not have went to their country doing what she wanted to do.
Right.
That's why I asked, was it too harsh? I don't think it's too harsh. I think that's their rule.
Yeah.
And we have to respect what their rule is. You can't go titter-tatting and playing around. I'm going to try them today and see if this happens. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by too harsh. I don't know. Could be. But yeah,
I mean, that's the reason why you know me, I'm gonna be devil's advocate, Shonda. That's the reason why we have trials. So we need to understand what was the intent and motive behind that, though. I don't think she was over there trying to struggle, bring in drugs.
Of course not. But she brought over the certain amount that considered it to be smuggling or whatever they call it. Right?
Yeah, no, I think what's actually in Russia, you can't have that stuff. It's here we got if you got this amount,
can't have it at all.
You're trying to sell it. If you got this amount, it's just for personal use. Over there, it's like you can't.
Possession is the charge. Possession at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's completely. Even the video said it's completely illegal.
Yeah, completely.
You can't bring even a quarter piece, dime, whatever of it. It's illegal.
Right. And George, you said she played overseas, so she should know this by now, right?
Everybody.
And I'm sure the coaches or whoever is traveling, they prep them. My son, they travel out of town all the time. They have a whole meeting before they get on them planes. They have a whole meeting before they get on them buses.
Here. It stays here.
She's a vet. I believe she's been professional for like 10 years now. So and everybody know about Russia. Men, women, if you play professional basketball, everybody like, yo, you going to Russia, you gonna get some money, but watch how you be moving around.
Bro, it said 2012 she won Olympic golds. That's 10 years right there. Yeah, so we're talking about a decade in the game, traveling the globe as the star. I don't know, man. You know, as far as I want to say something that, look, this country has a lot of flaws, a lot of things we need to work on improving. But what nobody really talks about, really, I don't think they want to think about is this is a good time to look at a fact of something that's going on in another country. Be like, that's one of the reasons why either you live here or should be glad you live here, because that wouldn't happen to you here. You would have a trial. The punishment is a lot less harsh here, not there. It's not one country around the globe isn't one country. Like they'll cut your hand off in some countries for stealing. Is that harsh?
Right.
Hell, that's harsh. That's why we don't do it here. But over there, that's what they do. And when you're over there, you know if you steal, your hand gets cut off. Ain't no surprises. So if you're a global superstar, you travel the world, don't be surprised. Like, you should know that's the responsibility factor. Was it harsh? Yeah, man. Nobody would wish that on you. But like Shonda, you said, it's on you.
Right. It's on you to make the decision.
You know whose house you were going to.
Right. And I know, like, I'm a mother of black boys, TK as well. And I know there are things that our boys may go to court for or jail for, and they did absolutely not do it, as Mr. Johnson just stated earlier. But I tell my boys also, don't put yourself in a situation where someone else determines your life.
Right.
Don't give them that opportunity.
Like if you do it, and if you did it, and then you have to go sit in the courtroom and explain why you did it or didn't do it, bruh, that's on you. You have to make better decisions. Now, yes, there are times, like I said, you will get a situation where it's not your fault, but things that you can control, things that are your fault, and you just made a wrong decision, or like Ryan said, mistake or bad decision. You cannot allow yourself to be in their courtroom where they're going to decide what your fate is. You have to make better decisions just as humans, period. But
and in this country, somebody like that, maybe at the end of the day, she didn't understand the magnitude of it. She thought she could get away with it. And in this country, we're like, yo, you'll get a second chance, and you wouldn't have gotten 9 years. You would have got what it was. And at least I've seen it happen so many times. There's some punishment. Then that's crazy. But
I know she knew it was legal. I know she knew it was legal. She had to. She said she packed it by accident in Russian. Girl,
you got a 9-year accident.
Everybody double checks their suitcase. Everybody.
Especially when you know you gotta go through. Yeah.
So that was good, y'all. I just wanted to just talk about that. Like I said, today they did. I think her legal team appealed the decision today, and also they are in talks with United States to try to do a swap. And I did read a couple of weeks ago, a journalist said that this would happen, that they're going to sentence her because they have to go through the process, but most likely she'll be released due to the swap. So we'll let's, all we can do is see and see what happens.
I want to ask, since you brought this topic up, and this could be on the way out, a real quick answer if you want to. Here's the question: and it may be a political question, I don't know, but should the U.S. swap the bomb maker who's been sentenced to 25 years in this country for her?
Come on now.
I don't know if you want to
That's
go
touchy.
there, but
That's touchy right there.
you know, my boy in the group chat, like, bro, no way, bro.
Right.
The bomb maker's not going back. No way. And then my other dude is like, bro, you got to make that deal. Da, 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 da. And it's funny, man.
Because he's going back to make another bomb. We need him to stay put.
That's
Listen, I need him to stay put.
It's crazy, bro. That's what I mean.
And lastly, one of the things that a lot of people were saying that she did, because she was one of the players who did not stand up during the anthem. She's one of the players who was saying, I don't want the anthem played at basketball games.
There was
so
all that stuff.
All of these people who are not Democrats said, let her stay over there. You know, but she doesn't like the U.S. anyway. She, they're taking it personal and I'm kind of happy that this happened to her just because she had an opinion about the national anthem or, what was going on, because she was talking about this during the time George Floyd was killed or whatever. So, everyone has their own opinions and their own reasons for it, but whatever the situation is, I hope everything works out for her. I do. I do think 9 years is a lot. I do.
Of course.
I also do think it was on her to make a better decision to do.
You can't help but pause at the irony of someone who had those vocal opinions about the country, really now relying on that country to help bring you back to your home. It really was something, no matter where you fall on the political spectrum. That's wild. And that's also why you really want to think about what you say. And if you're passionate about it, say it. But then you got to say, look, I said that, I mean that. And you got your Muhammad Ali, so they took a stand for what they felt, and they would go to jail for it. They would do.
We may have to finish that topic next week because
when you say it, you better mean it. Because look what happened.
Stand on it.
Ryan go deep.
But Ryan David. So should she not be helped by her country just because she feels the anthem at that moment was not for justice and liberty for all?
She should be helped by her country to the extent her country would help anybody in her situation. What she said is independent of how her country should or shouldn't help her.
I agree.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So I think her country should help her the same way they would help George or myself if we were over there. Like, I think that to that extent, if there's going to be help, it should not be based on, well, she said some things, don't help her, or she's that, help her. Nah, I don't think that. These are personal opinions.
I think law is law, rule is rule, no matter who you are. I think back to what I said earlier. I think a lot of these celebrities or people just use their privilege.
I agree with that.
Yeah, she really. I bet she really thought she was gonna get off.
I think so.
And if she didn't, some do. So I agree with that happens. I don't think all, but I do agree that could have been a factor.
Well, let's move on because I want to keep Mr. Johnson long. He has
It is 9 o'clock.
A long week.
It's all good.
We can go on, Mr. Johnson, for a minute.
George, we do this every Monday night at 8 o'clock.
I like it.
We're going to move on to Real Talk with Ryan David. Ryan, I hope you're ready. I know I didn't warn you.
No warning, but I'm here for it. It's all good.
I know y'all are always ready.
I didn't warn y'all I was wearing a sleeveless shirt tonight, but I did anyway. So nobody, is anybody talking about that in the comments? By the way, what's Ryan doing with no shirt on tonight? And
it's crazy enough. Your fans are not in here tonight.
Look, where's Casey? Where's Casey?
Tell you what. Hey, Real Talk tonight. What are we doing? We gonna feature me? Can I feature? I'll do it. There we go. Co-producing tonight. I'm with you. I got you, Shonda. I got Real Talk tonight. I'm gonna keep it really short and sweet and simple. Actually, not so much short, but I want to talk about something that is. I was like, what am I gonna talk about? A lot of times I'll just go off the cuff. What's going on with me right now? Real Talk tonight. I want to talk about procrastination, and I want to talk about procrastination.
Why are you talking about me?
Real quick. Okay, so real quick, I just want to talk about it. I want to put a couple of simple aspects to procrastination really in context here, and then give you guys some thoughts. But I'll talk about the reason why I want to talk about procrastination is because, full disclosure, I like to be transparent. And usually this happens towards the end of the summer, going into fall. I have to prep for my classes. I have to copy all the courses. I have to create the syllabus. I have to do what I have to do. And that's not very fun. It's not very difficult, but it's time consuming. It's not very fun. It's definitely not more fun than being in the pool in the backyard or hanging out like I do during the summer, whatever the case is. So what I found myself doing over the last week or two was procrastinating or waiting a little bit too long to take action and do what I needed to do. And I want to say a couple of things about that. And I just really, here's the lesson side of it all. So procrastination, what is it? Really quite simply put, procrastination is the failure to take action. It's not doing what you need to do. So procrastination isn't doing something. When you procrastinate, you don't do something. When you procrastinate, you do not do something, and usually don't do something that you need to be doing, and usually don't do something for one reason, and that's out of fear or the perception of what you do is going to be too painful to do, and you don't want to do it, so you avoid it. Now, here's what happens when, first of all, two things. One, the little prerequisite you need to think about in terms of your mentality. And then two will be the three types. The first mentality I want to speak on is with procrastination, which you have to first, because people out there are thinking, oh, I want to listen to this. What can I do? What can I take from it? The first thing you need to take from what I'm saying here is you need to make sure that you do not call yourself a procrastinator. Because whenever you say I am anything, you basically make a conscious decision to tell your nervous system to unconsciously make sure your behaviors are in line with that identity. I don't care what the identity is. Tony Robbins taught me the strongest force in the human personality is to remain consistent with your identity. So if you say you are something and you think of yourself as something, best believe your actions are going to follow. And so real quick example, if you're a smoker and you call yourself a smoker and you smoke cigarettes and you're going to try and quit smoking, good luck to you. Why? Because you're a smoker. What do smokers do? They smoke cigarettes. You're trying to stop doing something that is in line with your identity as a smoker. You have to first change your identity. I'm not a smoker and I want to stop smoking. Going back to procrastination, stop saying I'm a procrastinator. Like it's a catchy, cool thing to kind of connect with people on. No, stop saying that. I procrastinate sometimes. I tend to procrastinate. I have a bad habit of sometimes procrastinating. Stop with the I am. So that's first and foremost. Secondly was a lesson. How do we procrastinate? What do we do? You guys know this already, but usually there's three flavors of procrastination. First one is not doing anything. You're not taking action. You're just kind of sitting around waiting for other things to direct you to just, kill time in a sense, just react to whatever else is going on. So you don't have to take action and to avoid taking action on what you want to do. Most people don't do that, but some people do. They just kind of go do with whatever pops up. Usually most people do the second one, which is instead of consciously doing what they need to do, they consciously go do something they'd rather do instead. Go watch Netflix, go out, have a drink, go play to the gym, go whatever, they do something else they want to do that they enjoy. But there's a third flavor of procrastination that I actually am guilty of. And that is instead of doing what you need to be doing most, you actually consciously make the decision to go do something else that you could benefit from as well, like clean out the Tupperware cabinet or sweep the floor or rake the leaves in the backyard. Dumb shit that's on the list that ain't important, but it tricks you, and it makes you think you're being productive, so you're not procrastinating. Don't get it twisted. You're procrastinating. So I'll be in here cleaning papers and organizing and cleaning up the studio. This needs to be done. Yeah, but it don't need to be done more than that syllabus. So I'm guilty of the third one. So if you find yourself doing something where you think you're being productive, but you feel kind of off, it's probably because you're doing that to psych yourself out to avoid doing what you really need to be doing. So that is really where your listening your priorities come into play, because you can look at the top of that list, and at the top of that list is do the syllabus or finish your taxes. That's at the top of the list. And at the bottom is wash the dog or clean out the car. You find yourself washing the dog, clean out your car when your list says do your taxes, you're procrastinating. You might not feel like you are, but you are. That's my flavor of procrastination. And that's what I've been doing lately. And that's what I got to stop doing. So I got to get off this show and go ahead and get this syllabus done. That's a real talk with Ryan David for tonight.
Why are you talking about me, Ryan? Because I call myself a procrastinator. Why are
everybody,
you doing me like
most people that procrastinate do, and they own it. But when you own that, it make it harder to break away from doing it.
I would say thank you, but I'm not.
Exactly, because he's trying to be slick. He's really talking. He want to say, Shonda and TK, this is for you.
I'm in my classes all the time. When I teach these lessons and I give these examples and I make these out, everybody feels violated, bro. I'm not talking about in particular, but it relates to us. So we're like, that's me. Oh shit.
Okay, can I say one thing?
Yeah, of course.
We all have insecurities and flaws, right? Isn't it not honorable that I actually can say where my shortcomings are? I procrastinate. But I tell people that's a gift and a curse. Are you trying to say I just tell myself to make myself feel better?
Well, wait.
Go ahead, Shonda.
I'm going to stop you, Miss Motivational Speaker. You are the main one that says, watch what you speak. because you are manifesting that. So
God,
you need to
you
stop
let me
saying
finish.
you are not a procrastinator because you tell me all the time to watch my mouth.
Let me get TK's back for a second. What she's talking about is being.
Get a George. Get her.
She's being honest about the fact that she is aware of the fact that that is one of her tendencies or bad habits. And I wanted to point out, I teach this stuff too. I just laid it down for you. You know, you have your book about how to take action, whatever it is. It's human to avoid doing something you don't want to do. And we all tend to procrastinate at times. The catch is your life struggling or suffering because you procrastinate? Are your relationships deteriorating? Are your grades failing? Are you losing money? Is your life suffering because you procrastinate? If that's the case, it's a problem. If not, you just tend to do that sometimes. It's human.
Okay, good. I never put like something that's important on the line for it. I guess how I feed myself to know that it's okay or justifiable is that I say it's a gift and a curse. Because I'll be honest with you, Ryan, whenever I wait to the last minute, I'm big on deadlines. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, but most likely it's gonna get done to the last minute. But that is like my best work comes out when I'm under pressure.
I told you why you do that already in another episode, TK, because you scared as shit. You ain't gonna get it done. You have fear working for you. You are working out of fear. It's okay. It's okay. But as long as you know that, because what we plan on there is tomorrow's not promised. So if you wait to the last minute, like a lot of people, TK, I'm gonna put it out there. I have done the same thing and I've been very productive too, but I'm not in denial about the reason why I worked so well last minute. I know what it is. There ain't no tomorrow. I got to do it right now. That's fear driving us. It's dangerous because what if tomorrow don't come and you don't have that day to get started last minute? That's the only thing I caution people, but be mindful of what you're doing. Awareness is the first step, TK. You're aware of the fact you do this. You can now tweak it, start a day earlier. So that's what I'll say. George, anything you want to add to that?
No, luckily that's not nothing I struggle with.
He tried to throw shade too.
I'm very I'm infatuated with progression. So I love seeing I got that done. So like I can't even lay down at night. If I woke up and was like, I gotta get all these things done and I don't get them done, I won't go to sleep. I'll try and I'll be like, I might as well get up and do it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson, we have at least about 5 more minutes. If you have to go, I understand. If not, we're wrapping up though. If you have to go, just get on out of here because we can talk.
All right, well, y'all go ahead. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and give me something to eat.
Go ahead.
I appreciate you guys having me on. This is probably one of my most exciting and fun-filled and funny interviews I've done. So definitely, I appreciate all y'all support, and I definitely be pushing all this on my page.
For sure, man. Appreciate it. We'll stay in touch.
We'll post information on our page and send people to your Eventbrite. Thank you so much. Please stay in touch. Let us know.
We'll do.
How everything's going.
We'll do. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, George.
TK, awesome. It's on you. Let me find your little video. We ain't chance to go ahead and give us a motivational moment. TK,
there it is.
Motivational moment.
Well, I actually had a motivational quote actually talking about fear. It's funny that you bring up fear, Ryan, but when Shonda was sharing her testimony earlier about her going tomorrow to take her test to what is it that you're doing, Shonda?
Trying to become a citizen of this raggedy country. You
ain't going over there to Russia. You're not going over there to Russia, okay? Hey, Ryan, we're gonna exchange her for Brittney.
Shonda, Brittney coming home. You want to go trade places?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Oh, staycation. I'm sorry. By the dog,
you got to get all 10 of the questions right now. All 10 questions.
Exactly. So in my book, and I don't even know what page, but one of the steps that I talk about, it's a 7-step plan that actually help you achieve your goals. And when you were telling me you studied and you're prepared, like I guess the first time you didn't pass,
I wasn't.
Correct?
Right, I didn't.
And you wasn't prepared. And that's what I want to actually give to the listeners and to you, Shonda. This is dedicated to you. So I tell people all the time, usually when someone is auditioning for something or taking a test, I don't ever wish anyone luck. And I wonder, am I the same one? I don't believe in luck. To me, there isn't such thing as luck. I tell people all the time, luck is a crossroad where preparation meets opportunity. So my question to you is, did you prepare yourself for this, Shonda? Preparing yourself means that you studied for it. So anybody who wants to start a business, did you take the preparations and the necessary skills to get you where you're going? So you stay ready. You never have to get ready if you stay ready. Are you doing everything that you need to do so that when that opportunity comes, all you have to do is walk into your life? Meaning with you, Shonda, I heard you say you studied and you're ready this time. And that opportunity is the appointment that you made. So there is that crossroad. I don't ever tell someone, I wish you luck. Whenever my daughter goes out and audition for dance, she knows what it's like. And I've taught her how it, when it comes to competition, how it works. There's some things you're going to get. There's some things you're not going to get. But I don't ever tell her good luck. In this world, we tell you, leave everything on the floor, break a leg. Did she prepare herself? You knew to become a professional dancer, you had a criteria you had to meet. You had a certain skill level you needed to be on. Did you have the proper training? Until you are ready, don't even think about auditioning. Did you prepare yourself to take that nursing course that you needed to take? Ryan, for you to become a professor, I'm pretty sure you had to go through several steps to how to become a professor. So did you set yourself up and prepare for that so that when you went on that job interview, when someone gave you that opportunity, Ryan, preparation meets opportunity equals success to me.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that? And that's my word from my mouth to your ears. I hope you receive it. Ryan, any thoughts?
Good stuff, TK. Yeah, real quick, I actually also struggle with the luck thing, with saying good luck to people. Sometimes I just say it in passing. It's not that big of a deal, just kind of thing to say. But when it's something serious, yeah, I don't like to throw out the good luck. I like to throw out, all right, man, you worked hard. Are you prepared? Do your thing. You know what? Like, so I agree with the concept as far as where you're coming from with the good luck thing. I think some people say it and they kind of just say it as a habit.
As a habit.
But what you said, I agree with. It's deeper than that. Don't just leave it to luck. You have control of a lot of things.
You have to do the work. You
and
have to do the work.
Right. You were talking to Shonda. Did she prepare? She said she did. So
I did. I feel good about this. George said, baby, you got this. You got
this.
Even Gigi was testing me. You know, that's my mama in another life. She said, Mama, you did good. You got this. So I feel more confident now than last time. I was super nervous, sweating, you know what. But now I'm like, okay, let's do this. I'm ready.
So let me tell you what you should have done, Shonda. What you should have done was you should have sent us some questions, because it's easy for you and George to study them questions. But when you get that pressure on you, you're going to be able to recall that right answer. We could have asked you right now live if you know the answer.
Ooh, y'all, let's test her out. Shonda, if you don't pass this test.
No, I didn't think about that.
See, that's the thing also,
we ask you for Brittney.
Work into what you said to you. Add to that. If you practice under pressure, also obviously there won't be no pressure when you get there. At least you'll be overtrained for it. That's another concept too.
Yeah, I did have someone else who's not related to me quiz me as well. So, and I did pretty good. So I'm excited. I'm ready to get over with actually.
For sure. Pretend like it's TK asking you the questions tomorrow.
Okay. So we are going to finish our show. TK, can you please tell the folks where they can find us, hear us, look for us, and see us?
Absolutely. You can find us on all social media platforms under Talk Miami Talk Show. Every Monday night at 8 o'clock, we go live on Facebook and Twitter. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We definitely want to make sure that we're live and you guys get to see it every Monday night. So you get all the latest updates if you subscribe to our channel. And after tonight's show, you can then download our podcast and you can listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and everywhere where podcast is available at Talk Miami Talk Show. Back to you, Shonda.
Thank you. Oh, you about to take Cindy's job, honey. You did.
No, listen, TK has that I studied this. TK has that broadcast journalism. Y'all just get the unfiltered TK.
Hey, real quick before we go, shout out to everybody who joined us tonight. A little lower interactivity tonight, a little lower engagement. Not a lot of people. I don't know what happened. It was a special Monday. I don't know what's going on. Back to school, got people tied up. Shout out Diane, Sarah, Ryan, Tiffany. Damon was on there earlier. Everybody who was in the comments. Shout out to you guys to join us tonight. Evelyn, I see you all. Appreciate you.
Sarah, put those clothes up, honey. Stop procrastinating.
Yep, there you go.
Tiffany, Sarah,
Y'all are sitting on
Diane.
my couch. I got
I'm
a
gonna go
whole,
take
a
the
whole
rest of this shirt
section.
off now, y'all. Y'all have a good
Oh,
evening.
y'all heard. Wait, did you see what Sarah said about you, Ryan?
What did you say?
What she say?
She said, well, since you mentioned it, because she was going to talk about that shirt.
Hey.
Sarah, he getting ready to take it off.
Yeah.
You staying on, Shonda?
No, we're ending the broadcast. Sorry.
You
That's a different kind of broadcast.
Look, I need the blue tape for my eyes. not my-
Blue tape.
Look.
I'm sorry.
All right, ladies.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Wanna live with you. I just wanna love you.
Now, I want to say one thing.
Love
Did you notice how different Ryan was when he first started to now?
He done got real comfortable in his skin.
Listen,
He said,
Listen.
all right, ladies.
gotta earn people's trust. Gotta earn
Now he
people's
coming on
trust.
here halfway naked.